Hi there! Today, we're embarking on a captivating journey as we step back in time to explore the legendary TV series, The Andy Griffith Show. I'm sure many of you have fond memories of this classic show. The Andy Griffith Show is a timeless gem that has left an indelible mark on television history. Join us as we relive the magic, revisiting the series with the entire cast, then and now. We'll uncover the original identities and ages of the talented actors from the show and witness how they've transformed in 2023. So, without further ado, let's dive into the world of The Andy Griffith Show. Number 1. Andy Griffith as Andy Taylor. This country-smart lawman knows how to keep the peace with a smile on his face and a heart of gold. In sleepy Mayberry, Andy's the sheriff everyone adores. With his laid-back style, he ain't one to jump the gun or stir up trouble. He's all about nurturing and caring for his little boy, Opie, teaching him right from wrong, and being the best pa a kid could ask for. He's got a knack for keeping the town safe and sound without causing a ruckus. A North Carolina boy, Andy Griffith got his start as a monologist, performing stories such as What It Was Football, which was released as a single in 1953 and reached number 9 on the charts. Its popularity led him to perform it on The Ed Sullivan Show. In 1958, Griffith reprised an earlier stage role for the film version of No Time for Sergeants, which would also be credited as the direct inspiration for the later spin-off, Gomer Pyle, USMC. The film co-starred the incredible Don Knotts, and began a lifelong friendship and working relationship. In 1960, Griffith appeared on an episode of Make Room for Daddy as a county sheriff, and this role served as a backdoor pilot for The Andy Griffith Show, as both programs were produced by Sheldon Leonard. In a way, Andy was the unsung hero. Although he never received writing credit, Griffith worked on the development of every script. While others like Knotts took home Emmys, Andy was never even nominated. In 1967, Griffith was under contract for one more season, but he refused, and the show morphed into the spin-off Mayberry RFD, starring the great Ken Berry. Griffith did serve as executive producer and guest starred in 5 episodes. Post-60s, Griffith started his own production company and starred in less successful shows like The New Andy Griffith Show and Salvage One. But Andy would once again hit the jackpot with 1986's Matlock, where once more we got to watch Griffith and Don Knotts at it again. Andy Taylor played by Andy Griffith when he was 34 years old. Sadly, on July 3, 2012, Griffith died at his Roanoke Island home in Manteo, North Carolina, from a heart attack he had the day before. He was 86. Number 2. Ron Howard as Opie Taylor. Opie is the kind of kid who becomes the keeper of your secrets and the guardian of your heart. Genuine to the core, he possesses a heart of gold that radiates through every adventure. Whether he's swiping cookies from the jar or on the trail of frogs, you can rely on him to stand by your side when friendship is needed. And who illuminates the path of his life? None other than Sheriff Andy Taylor, his pay. Opie acts like a sponge, absorbing every piece of advice and wisdom his dad has to offer. The illustrious Ron Howard initially stepped into the entertainment world in 1956, accompanying his actor father, Rance Howard, on sets like Frontier Woman. At the tender age of 5 in 1959, he secured a recurring role as Stewart on Dennis the Menace, and by the following year, became widely known as Opie, capturing the world's attention. While renowned for his starring role as Richie Cunningham in Happy Days, Howard also played a part in the 1971-1972 comedy drama The Smith Family, sharing the screen with Henry Fonda and Darlene Carr, the younger sister of the Sound of Music star. As Howard entered his 20s, he gradually evolved into a powerhouse director. He earned an Academy Award for directing A Beautiful Mind and received another nomination in 2009 for Frost Nixon. At the age of 69, His recent directorial credits include Solo, A Star Wars Story, 2018, Hillbilly Elegy, 2020, and 13 Lives, 2022. Opie Taylor played by Ron Howard when he was 6 years old, and now he is 69 years old. Number 3, Don Knotts as Barney Fife. Sporting a smirk and a mischievous twinkle in his eye, Barney acts like he's got life all figured out. Well, at least that's what he wants you to believe. Yet beneath that mask of smugness, a tapestry of insecurities and low self-confidence unfolds. Whether it's firearms, martial arts, women, or wilderness survival, Barney's got a colorful story to share about it all. He'll whisk you away with tales of his grand exploits, serenade you with out-of-this-world singing skills, and astound you with his encyclopedic knowledge of psychology and American history. In a typical Hollywood paradox, Don Knotts proved quite adept at securing steady work, playing the frantically nervous and incompetent. After great success in the 1960s as a TV second banana, Knotts spent much of the second half of that decade as a feature comedy star. Nevertheless, the small screen proved the more hospitable home. His deputy Barney Fife, a bumbling but benign braggart, provided many of the laughs on the hugely successful rustic sitcom The Andy Griffith Show. Knotts' high-pitched whine provided comic counterpart to the soothing Cracker Barrel homilies delivered by Griffith's Sheriff Andy Taylor for 5 seasons. Revealingly, Andy never let his deputy carry more than 1 bullet, and in his shirt pocket at that. Nonetheless, Knotts racked up an impressive winning streak of Emmys for outstanding performance by an actor in a supporting role in a comedy, taking home the statuette from 1960 to 1967. Griffith would also credit his co-star for writing many of Barney Fife's most inspired comic scenes. Barney Fife played by Don Knotts when he was 36 years old. Unfortunately, Knotts died at age 81 on February 24, 2006, at the Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles from pulmonary and respiratory complications of pneumonia related to lung cancer. Number 4, Frances Bavier as Aunt B. Taylor. Aunt B. Taylor, the epitome of warmth and care, stands as the nurturing aunt to Sheriff Andy Taylor and the maternal cornerstone of the Taylor household. Renowned for her culinary prowess, Aunt B crafts a home that exudes warmth and invitation. Ever ready to lend a sympathetic ear and dispense sage advice, she becomes the trusted confidant of Mayberry residents. Despite occasional bouts of nosiness, Aunt B's intentions are consistently well-meaning, grounded in a genuine care for the community's well-being. In the heart of Mayberry, Aunt B's presence transforms a house into a home and a community into a family. Aunt B, the paternal aunt of Andy Taylor, gained fame in Mayberry for her culinary prowess. One of the standout Aunt B episodes features her winning some high-value prizes on a game show, leaving her unsure about what to do with them. Born and raised in Manhattan, Frances initially ventured into vaudeville before making a mark on Broadway. Her big screen breakthrough came in 1951's The Day the Earth Stood Still. Transitioning to television, she secured her first recurring role in 71 episodes of It's a Great Life. Frances often portrayed character types akin to her iconic Aunt B. Despite her success, reports suggest a love-hate relationship with the role, making her challenging to work with. The production staff, including Andy himself, approached Frances cautiously to avoid causing offense. Behind Aunt B's culinary charm lay an actress with complexity and nuances, adding layers to Mayberry's beloved character. Aunt B. Taylor played by Frances Bavier when she was 58 years old. Sadly, Aunt B. Taylor died of a fatal heart attack 2 days after her 87th birthday on December 6, 1989. Number 5. George Lindsay as Goober Pyle. Goober's childlike wonder and carefree spirit bring a ray of sunshine to every day in Mayberry. While he may not possess all the brains, his heart of gold shines through in everything he does. Despite life's challenges, Goober faces it all with a smile, always recognizing the goodness in people and the world around him. George Lindsay was an actor who graced the silver screen many times throughout his Hollywood career. Early on, Lindsay mostly landed roles in various films, including the Dean Jones comedy Snowball Express and the comedic fantasy Charlie and the Angel with Fred MacMurray. He also appeared in the TV movie Bristleface. He worked in series television while getting his start in acting, including a part on The Andy Griffith Show. Lindsay also contributed his voice to characters in the animated feature The Aristocats with Ruth Buzzi and the Roger Miller animated picture Robin Hood. In the 70s and the 80s, Lindsay devoted his time to various credits, such as Treasure of Matecumbe, The Rescuers with Bob Newhart, and Take This Job and Shove It with Robert Hayes. He also was featured in the TV movie Return to Mayberry. Lindsay last appeared on TV Road Trip. Goober played by George Lindsay when he was 6 years old. Sadly, Lindsay died on May 6, 2012 in Nashville, Tennessee from heart failure. He was 83. Number 6. Howard McNear as Floyd Lawson. With his rural roots and a modest education, Floyd might not be the brightest bulb in the box, but his heart shines as brightly as the North Star. He's the kind of fellow who holds firm to the belief in the inherent goodness of people, even if it means he's a touch gullible and occasionally fooled. In that barber's chair, Floyd isn't just trimming hair. He's a listening ear, a friendly face, and a wellspring of laughter. While he may lack all the answers, his heart brims with kindness, and his soul illuminates Mayberry with warmth every single day. Floyd, the unsophisticated barber with an abundance of heart, casting a glow over the simple joys of Mayberry. Howard Turbell, McNear, a distinguished American character actor, left an indelible mark on the entertainment landscape. With a diverse repertoire spanning films, TV shows, radio programs, and theater productions, McNear's standout performance was as Floyd Lawson, the amiable barber in The Andy Griffith Show. Hailing from California, McNear honed his craft at the Oatman School of Theater and later joined a stock company in San Diego. In the late 1930s, his distinctive voice and talent found a home in various radio programs. At the conclusion of World War II, McNear served in the United States Army Air Corps. In 1953, he marked his screen debut in an uncredited role in the Western adventure, Escape from Fort Bravo. A year later, he graced the small screen in an episode of the NBC series Dragnet. Over his 3-decade-long career, McNear amassed a remarkable 100-plus film and TV credits. His portrayal of Floyd Lawson resonates in pop culture, serving as inspiration for subsequent TV and film characters and even influencing songs. Howard Turbell McNear, an enduring presence in the tapestry of entertainment history. Floyd Lawson, played by Howard McNear when he was 56 years old. Sadly, on January 3, 1969, McNear died at San Fernando Valley Veterans Hospital in California at the age of 63 as a result of complications from pneumonia caused by a stroke. Number 7. Tom Jacobs as Townsmen. The defining trait of the Townsmen is their authentic friendliness and hospitality. Always ready to extend a helping hand or offer support to their neighbors, they embody the spirit of a tight-knit community. Whether gathering at Floyd's barber shop or the local diner, these townsfolk engage in lively conversations, sharing the latest news and gossip, actively participating in community events, parades, and festivals. They exemplify the strong sense of togetherness and community in Mayberry. In this charming town, the townspeople create a welcoming atmosphere that fosters connection and camaraderie. Townsman played by Tom Jacobs when he was 57 years old. Sadly, he died cancer on March 3, 1976, in Lucerne, California, USA. He was 73 years old. Number 8. Aneta Corsaut as Helen Crump. In the whirlwind of characters around her, Helen stands firm as the steady anchor, the voice of reason guiding them through life's twists and turns. With a mind as sharp as a needle and a heart as gentle as a breeze, she gracefully navigates challenges. In a world where independence is paramount, Helen shines like a star, proving that a woman can carve her own path and thrive on her own terms. Corsaut first graced the long-running Griffith Show in 1963 as school teacher Helen Crump, who eventually became the wife of Mayberry's sheriff on the first episode of the spin-off Mayberry RFD. In 1965, she also took on the role of Kathy McLennan, the young widow of a rancher, in the episode Paid in Full on the syndicated Western anthology series Death Valley Days. Corsaut continued her television career with a recurring role as a pawn shop owner friend of policeman Bumper Morgan in the 1975-1976 series The Blue Knight. In the series Adam 12, Corsaut portrayed Officer Pete Malloy's girlfriend Judy. She also had a supporting role as head nurse Bradley in the 1980s sitcom House Calls, and appeared in several episodes of Matlock alongside star Andy Griffith. Additionally, Corsaut played the role of Nurse Jessie Brewer in 1977 on the long-running ABC soap opera General Hospital, when the longtime portrayer Emily McLaughlin was too ill to work. Corsaut returned to the role of Helen Crump in the reunion shows Return to Mayberry in 1986 and The Andy Griffith Show Reunion in 1993. Besides her acting career, she co-authored the Mystery Reader's Quiz Book. Helen Crump played by Aneta Corsaut when she was 30 years old. Sadly, on November 6, 1995, Corsaut died of cancer in Los Angeles, California. She was 62 years old. Number 9. Hal Smith as Otis Campbell. Otis Campbell, the designated town drunk of Mayberry, is a familiar face at the Mayberry jail, where he frequently spends nights to sober up. Despite grappling with alcohol, Otis is depicted as a good-natured and kind-hearted soul. A defining characteristic of Otis is his keen sense of humor. He cracks jokes and finds laughter even in his own predicaments, bringing a dose of mirth to the show's audience. Known equally for his acting and voiceover work, Hal Smith crafted an impressive body of work spanning 6 decades. Smith's foray into show business began as a disc jockey and voiceover talent for the Utica, New York radio station WIBX in the late 1930s and early 1940s. After serving in World War II, he relocated to Hollywood, where he secured uncredited roles in movies in the early 1950s. In the 1960s, Smith found his niche in voice work, contributing to animated programs like the Caveman-era parody The Flintstones and Space Angel, employing the then-common synchro-vox technique. However, it was during this period that Smith landed the acting role he would be forever remembered for, the endearing town drunk of Mayberry, Otis Campbell, on The Andy Griffith Show. Smith continued to secure roles and voiceover work throughout the remainder of his career. Otis Campbell played by Hal Smith when she was 34 years old. Sadly, on January 28, 1994, at the age of 77, Smith died from an apparent heart attack. Don Pitts, his longtime agent, said that Smith died at his home in Santa Monica, California. Number 10. Hope Summers as Clara Edwards. As the telephone operator, Clara is the town's walking news bulletin. She revels in her role as the central hub for communication, using her position to gather and disseminate information. Yet, her enthusiasm for sharing gossip occasionally veers into misunderstandings and humorous situations, adding a touch of comedic flair to the happenings in the town. Summers, a regional actress renowned for her one-woman shows since the 1930s, began her career in radio with roles in the anthology Destination Freedom. This series, written by Richard Durham, focused on recounting the lives of notable individuals of African descent in the Americas. Despite having uncredited background roles in short films, Summers didn't make her debut in Hollywood feature films until 1957, where she had a small credited role in 0 Hour. She continued her film career as a character player. Her breakthrough came in 1958 with the semi-regular role of Hattie Denton on the Western series The Rifleman, starring Chuck Connors. Summers gained further recognition with her role as Aunt Bee's best friend, making 36 appearances on The Andy Griffith Show during the 1960s. She also made 5 appearances on the post-Griffith spin-off, Mayberry RFD. While often cast in small and uncredited film roles, Summers had a credited part as Mrs. Gilmore in Roman Polanski's 1968 film classic, Rosemary's Baby, portraying one of the kindlier members of the Witches' Coven. From 1961 until her death in 1981, Summers was the voice of Mrs. Butterworth in commercials for Mrs. Butterworth's syrup. Clara Edwards played by Hope Summers when she was 59 years old. Sadly, Hope worked until close to the end of her life, passing away from heart failure in 1979 in Woodland Hills, Los Angeles. She was 77. We reflect on the incredible journey of the Andy Griffith Show, cast from 1960 to 1968. Witnessing their growth and transformations, it's evident that the bond forged during those years has left an enduring legacy. From thrilling highway pursuits to heartwarming moments, these actors brought the California Highway Patrol to life. Their stories continue to resonate with fans around the world. As we explore their then and now, we celebrate the enduring impact of the Andy Griffith Show. Thank you for joining us on this nostalgic trip down the California highways with the remarkable The Andy Griffith Show of yesteryear.